Over there.
Next time you meet Yardu, he'll take you to the Citadel.
Who's Yardu?
Buongiorno.
But hello.
Bonsoir.
Guten Tag.
Guten Morgen.
Hola.
Buongiorno.
Yo.
Hey.
Howdy.
Shoot.
Shucks.
Shucks. Is that you? Anyway, we're just going through, all the different ways.
Some greetings. We wanted to cover all of the audience members
hi,
of our fan base. Right.
No matter where you're from,
That's right.
Zimbabwe.
That's it.
Czechoslovakia. Kazakhstan. All our fans out in those places. That's really where we're popular. It's weird.
That'd be very weird.
We get the most views from Kazakhstan every week.
Why is that?
I don't know. I guess we're just widely appealing to Kazakhstani culture.
I guess.
Maybe we're just real Kazakhstani Renaissance men. Like, we go there and we just fit right in. Maybe they're all like us. We love you, Kazakhstan.
Thank you, Kazakhstan. All right, that was meant episode 5. We are almost at the point where we have to use 2 hands to count the numbers of many.
So we're probably going to end it after this episode. No.
Yeah, we're probably done.
The whole podcast over.
Yeah, so we haven't changed a whole lot about our setup. We like to add new things here all the time. We got a crown for the mic.
The king.
Because it's been doing such a good job. We're thinking of getting a new mic setup, so...
Yeah, even more...
Nice.
Buttery,
even
smooth.
More buttery and smooth.
Audio.
But while we have this little gem, we're going to honor him.
Yeah, he'll always be the king.
Mm-hmm. And I got a little postcard from... sorry for anyone just listening, but if you're watching, you can see it. I got a postcard. I ordered a hat off at A24, and they sent me a little poster thing with this picture from their new movie, Saint Maud, that's coming out.
Saint Maud.
It looks like a horror film.
Ah.
I didn't order that, but it came with it, and I thought it was kind of cool. So.
Yeah, I guess. She looks pretty distressed.
Uh-huh.
What do you think? Say in the comments below, how do you think Maud is feeling right now?
How's she doing?
How's she... or maybe she's having a good time.
Yeah.
She's just relaxing.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I've seen the trailer, so
she's pretty distressed.
I can take a guess. Sure. Yeah, let's get started with some homework, as we like to do. We like to check up on our. We like to keep ourselves busy. So, Ethan, how did you find your film and album of the past?
Distressing.
Hosier or prison?
Hosier. Very distressing musician. I don't like all of the violins that is he just taking metal and just scraping it across, trying to make the most abrasive sounds you can?
I think so.
I'm talking about Prisoners.
Yeah, I figured.
Especially because I just had a dream. This is kind of weird, guys, but I just had a dream that had like a daughter. Mm-hmm. It was just like, you know how just dreams, like, you'll just know stuff? It was just like this baby in my arms, and it's like, this is your daughter, and I could, like, you cry in a dream? I, like, cried tears of joy. So I watched that recently, and then watched this movie, and I was like, oh my god, I can feel, like, 1/10 of a fraction of what they might have felt. And
so you had the dream before you watched Prisoners? Yeah. Okay.
I'm glad I watched it now. I would have never watched Prisoners if I had children.
Oh, yeah. I would
you can't watch that movie after you've had kids, man.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
No, yeah. Spoilers for Prisoners.
Spoilers.
I guess, because I have a lot to say about it. I'll make it brief.
Skip ahead a few minutes.
Yeah, sure. Time code.
We'll start dancing when we're done talking spoilers.
That's a good idea. Put the video on mute. Go do something else, but keep it in the corner. When you see us start to dance, you can turn the volume back on. Okay, so Prisoners. The has a lot to say about morality and religious doubt and things like that. What did you think? What do you think the movie accomplished most in that area?
I think, it's just like a gray morality. I think it really perfectly encapsulates that idea of like hindsight can really be a B, you know? Like after you watch this movie, you realize that most of the messed up things that your protagonist did that you were kind of rooting for them to do throughout the movie because you're like, find your daughter, bro. Torture this serial killer because he obviously knows where she is. Like, it just shows like, yeah, like it just doesn't work out like that. And it like just accentuates like the fact that like...
Yeah. I was confused at the beginning as to why it opened with like a prayer. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Yeah. Like, that's kind of like at first I was like, oh, that's a pretty cliche way to open the film. Yeah. But I think it justifies it eventually.
Yeah, I didn't feel like, though they went religious with some aspects, it didn't feel like...
No, I didn't.
It didn't come across dumb like some things.
I didn't think of that at all. But, like, the motivation for Melissa Leo and the aunt, like, as far as why she and her husband did things.
Like, a moral would be, like, you just gotta think about what you do, man. Like, you can't be 100% sure about, like, because Hugh Jack, like, you know, he's alright guy, but like he's just too sure and he's just too amped up. You can't just let your emotions and your instinct take over like that. And even if your daughter got stolen, like you gotta manage some kind of self-control.
Yeah, and I think they draw a lot of assumptions between things. Like Jake Gyllenhaal meets David Dastmalchian's character, who's a creep and is kind of related to the case, but ultimately has nothing to do with it. Yeah. And because he sort of says, all right, you have to have something to do with it because I've seen how messed up you are, like, that results in the dude dying. So, like, yeah.
Well, they never make, like, a right decision. Like, the whole movie, no one really... The only reason they find out the killer is because that's an accident. That's it.
The kids are the smartest characters in the movie, ironically, because even though they get kidnapped, I don't think it's their fault.
Yeah, it's more of a... I think it's also interesting because I felt like just like when they first showed them like just being parents and stuff, they seemed like very loose, very relaxed parents that like that probably didn't discipline their children that... Like, I don't know, I feel like even though like even Hugh Jackman was like a hard dude, like I feel like he was very soft on his daughter probably, and like they just weren't disciplined enough to listen to their parents.
Yeah. I get that vibe. And, like, the parents have flaws of their own. Like, they kind of, like, they just go do whatever they want. For the whole time that the daughters are missing, Hugh Jackman's just, like, gone. Yeah. Like, there's that one scene where Terrence Howard and Viola Davis come home, and they're like, where's our other daughter?
Oh, yeah, and their daughter's
like... Their daughter's just like, yeah, how about you let me know next time you go missing? It's like, oh, yeah, you have other kids. Like, you guys are messed up.
And then at the same time, you're like, but, like, you think about what they were doing, and you're like, man, like, and then it's hard to think through, or like, it's like the craziness just filled all their minds, and they weren't able to think straight and be rational.
Yeah. Prisoners. Great film.
Because, and your protagonists weren't, like, yeah, you wanted them, it was really just like, you wanted them to find their daughters, but they weren't really good people making the right choices.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. That was Prisoners. What'd you think of Wasteland, Baby?
Wasteland, Baby. It was good. It was like, I like that opening track. Real, what was it?
Nina Cried Power.
That like epic,
Yeah. Woo, good start. I like a lot of, his vocals are great. Yeah. Not every track's a winner, but I thought it had some good hits on it.
Let's see here. I think, Sunlight. Talk. Oh, yeah. Good album, though.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it.
Some good stuff.
It was a good experience. It was just, I'm like, Hoser, yeah.
He did like a pop-up show, like on a New York subway. Like when this album was coming out. And he does a lot of like, just like, it's him and like a keyboard and some backup singers, and he does like movement and sweet music and like Take Me to Church, and it's all really like acoustic, and you're like, wow, okay, you really sound like that. Like, it's not auto-tune at all. So that was your homework.
Nah, bro, he doesn't even sound like that, bro. He's so auto-tuned.
He's actually lip-syncing everything.
I heard he lip-syncs. What about your homework, huh? Paris. You get it. You got one of the top 10.
I got one of your top 10 movies ever.
For me.
Yeah, one of your. That's what I said.
Yes, the AFI.
AFI confirmed it.
That
Paris,
my
Texas.
list is now their list.
Yes. I liked Paris, Texas a whole lot. I think I gave it 5 stars. I think. I don't remember. But it was really good. Harry Dean is really great in it, as he is in most things. Actually, all things.
Yeah.
You know Roger Ebert, I was reading about Harry Dean Stanton. Roger Ebert said, if Harry Dean Stanton is in a movie, it will not be bad. Like, he said something to that effect. He was like, basically, if your movie has him in it, there's no way it'll be bad.
Yeah.
And
is he just a picky guy and he just picks, like, he's just very good at picking his roles and, like, sussing out, like, this isn't a good movie, I'm not going to do this?
I think so, because usually there are some actors that are good even if it's a bad movie, but he's always good and the movie's always at least fine.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's definitely, he's like my second favorite actor behind Peter Sellers.
Those are some good ones. Dang, so you gave one of your favorite actors. I gave you one of mine with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake. So what'd you think? What'd you get out of Paris, Texas? Pause.
Oh hey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Okay.
All right. All right. Anyway.
All right. Yeah, I liked a lot of the themes of like reconnecting with people, and it's kind of subtle, but it doesn't really touch on like alcoholism or like those types of problems until the end monologue, which is like my favorite scene in the movie. The acting between him and I can't remember the actress's name. Whoever plays his wife. God, man. That long scene.
Right when they're between the two-way glass.
When she figures out who he is. Yeah. I like the visual image of like her in this fake cafe, and then when she figures out who that it's Harry Dean, they turn off the lights, and then the camera zooms in, and you just see like the asbestos like packing around the window, and it's just them staring at it. I liked that. And then they turn on the lights, and it's a cafe again. In my brain, I was like, oh, I totally forgot they were in a fake cafe. Like, it draws you really...
Yeah.
I think it's all one take. The acting there was really great.
I cried when that happened. Yeah.
I like all the music.
Oh, yeah, the soundtrack is amazing. I don't know who did it, but, like...
Whoever did, you did a good job.
Apparently, like, it was, like... He was, like, doing it, like, right up until, like, the last minute.
The kid actor didn't bug me. Kid actors sometimes annoy me, and this guy was fine. Yeah. He acted a lot like a real kid, and I think I liked the authenticity of a lot of the scenes. Yeah. Great time. I liked it. Paris, Texas.
Doesn't remember. That's just... I just love... when I watched, I didn't even watch the trailer. I just saw on Criterion just like the thumbnail basically. I was like, Paris, Texas. It's 11. Like, I'll watch this for an hour. Watched the whole movie. It was just late. And I was like, wow.
Yeah. It's a nice little gem. And I like that it kind of just ignores the uncle and the aunt character after a while. Because the movie's not about them. You don't even see them like after they leave on the road trip.
Yeah.
For the rest of the movie, they're just gone. And it's fine.
I also like how Wim Wenders just like takes the time in that movie, and it's very slow and just like it's like
it's a relaxing time,
and like it is like it's my favorite road movie for sure, like travel movie
it's one of the better ones I've seen of the road trip type film. Yeah. What music did I listen to this past week? Oh, Empire of the Sun.
Empire of the Sun?
Yeah.
Fucking out a dream. Oh, yeah, we're... How could I explain?
Rest in peace. I'll put some text up on the screen. We've been done talking.
I guess we spoiled kind of Paris, Texas a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, we didn't mention it, but I probably put a piece of text up on the screen. If you've seen Paris, Texas, and Prisoners.
Chances you haven't seen Paris.
Go ahead and listen to it. We talked about Hosier for 2 seconds.
So if you want the Hosier album spoiled,
go listen to that. It takes you 30 minutes. Just go listen to it. Empire of the Sun was really great. I'm a big fan of Oracular Spectacular, so naturally I was a big fan of this album.
Even though it's not the same band.
Not the same band.
Not to mislead you.
Sounds really similar, but not the same band. Yeah, I was a big fan. I obviously liked the first few tracks. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard, like...
Yeah. If you guys like MGMT and their first album and you were like, man, that album, there just weren't enough songs, or I've listened to it so many times that I can't listen to it anymore, just pick this up and you'll be right where you need to be. It's just the same spot.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, that's our recommends for last week. So now we'll get into some stuff.
All right. All right. Let's talk about this. Justin Bieber is a degenerate. No. Wait. Justin Bieber is a degenerate. Alert, degenerate alert. All right.
Yes, he is. He is a degenerate. I feel ashamed to share the same name as him, frankly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's just something that just slipped my mind. You guys share the same name.
True. That slipped your mind?
Yeah, Biebs. I don't know.
Oh, because you think of him as Bieber.
Yeah, I just think of him as like Biebs or J. Biebs.
That makes sense. So, people have talked to death about his kind of scummy techniques to get...
You got that scummy.
So that was pretty lame, and I don't want to talk too much about that.
Yeah, we don't have to talk. You've heard everyone talking about yummy.
It's been discussed.
It's not yummy, it's yucky.
Yeah. But we want to talk about, is it really that important to musicians to get into the top charts?
Certain ones.
Does it make... Yeah.
Certain musicians think it's the end of the freaking world. Like Taylor Swift, for some reason, believes she's entitled to the #1 spot whenever she releases a single. Uh-huh. That's what really, that's the really opposite end of the spectrum. Where it's more than him being like, I need the #1 spot, where she's like, why isn't it mine? It should be mine. It will be mine. Give it to me! Give it to me!
Nice tie-in.
Hey, what movie is that from? Down in the comments below.
Yeah. And I think also artists like Justin Bieber or Taylor Swift, I hate calling them...
Terry Crews,
Joseph Stalin. They kind of because they were so huge years ago, now they still make music, but I think now they're like, oh, I'm not as huge.
Yeah.
I'm still huge, but I'm not as huge.
You're getting scared.
Yeah. So Roddy Ricch made The Box, and that's been #1 for months now. And Justin Bieber's like, why am I not #1? It's like, I don't know, because this guy just happened to make a song.
His song probably 20 times a night in every club in the entire country, world. Because
it just happened that at the time you made your single and decided to make your comeback, that made a huge song.
I feel, it makes me feel good that in his mind, he's like, this nobody just up and just snatched up my #1 spot. Because I bet he made Yummy. He's like, all right, we're going to get #1. This is going to be so good. I'm waiting until January 1st to release it. We got the date, and then
he probably got really wrapped up in making the song that he didn't bother to see, oh, this is a weak point in the charts.
Yeah.
Or he was like, there's not one thing dominating.
Or even that...
There's happened to be one
He obviously wanted to release it on January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously... he didn't just drop it. He planned that date, so it was finished.
Yeah. Shame. I don't know. I don't think it matters. Music's so different now.
Yeah. I mean, who cares about the #1 spot?
Yeah. There's, plenty of bands that don't even make it near the top charts that end up being some of the best music released that year.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's rare fusions where, a really great album will get really high. I don't know. Tyler, the Creator's new album, Igor.
Yeah.
That was a really great album, and it was really high up on a lot of things.
That's one out of every...
But yeah, barely.
How many?
It barely happened. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it's more of an indicator you're just popular, and if you're popular...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's okay. You're gonna have your album be popular for what, a couple months? No. How
does that make you feel, too?
And music's...
I tell so many people that your album, people are gonna get annoyed. People don't want to hear that.
Yeah. And I don't have any stats pulled up, but I'm sure there's people who have been at #1 that now you'd think of as a joke, I don't think he was number one ever, but like, let's say Limp Bizkit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If like his album was number one, Fred Durst isn't gonna walk around and be like, I was number one. People aren't gonna care.
Yeah, screw you, Fred Durst.
Yeah. But if it's like some huge musician or something, then I don't know. It's different.
Yeah. The desperate crawl for relevance.
Mm-hmm. Now, is there another musician figure that you might want to discuss on the show, Ethan?
Lizzo, you don't slay. You don't slay, Lizzo. You don't do anything. You're literally a regular person that goes. I'm not even gonna get into the weight. I'm not gonna get into any of that. I'm just gonna speak about her as a regular person. She goes out of her house wearing a Sriracha t-shirt, and people think she's a goddess. They're like, you are such a sexy, like. It's like what it's clearly you're lying. It's clear that you're lying. It's like that sad kind of like. Oh, you're like if like some 6-year-old girl comes out like a princess costume and like looks like a ghastly wreck, you know, did their makeup all this, and then oh, you look like a beautiful little princess. It's like she's a grown woman, like, you know, she doesn't need that, and like it's like you just man.
Yeah. No, yeah. I don't think I feel as passionately about Lizzo. I don't know. I had heard none of her music. All of a sudden, she got huge, you know, out of nowhere.
No.
And I was like so confused by it because I heard a couple of her songs and like, yeah, some music, nothing super amazing.
The fans are also belligerent too. That's the thing. Yeah, it's like sure, like I don't even care if you say like a bigger person looks really good or something. It's the fact that like if anyone like says one thing, it's like ooh, you dead.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either. Yeah, fan bases, man.
Yeah,
I hate fan bases so much. All of them. There probably isn't one good fan base. There's probably like two in the world.
Oh, you're saying you can't think Lizzo is attractive. You know, I'm sure there's plenty of people who.
No, you can
find anyone finds anything attractive, man. Like, you know, like.
Yeah, I don't think that's the issue. I think her attitude in general.
Yeah, like, and the attitude is too.
Like, I don't know.
Like, I think she wore a Hershey shirt the other day, and people were like, "Slay, girl! Whoa, you sexy! Oh, you're arousing me!" And it's like. It's a Hershey's t-shirt.
Let's see. I just googled Lizzo news. First thing that pops up is Lizzo has been sued for her song Truth Hurts, which is one of her biggest hits.
Ooh, no, this is interesting. This is live. We don't know about this. You're getting first reactions here.
I just googled Lizzo news because I was trying to see.
Ooh, that's risky, man. If you typo.
Oh,
if you typo on that,
I might see Lizzo nets instead, and I might.
You never know. Fishnets?
Some weird stuff. Okay, 3 songwriters filed a countersuit.
Lizzo goes to hell? I'm not gonna.
3 songwriters filed a countersuit against Lizzo in federal court on Friday, alleging that they have been denied proper credit for writing her breakup hit. Justin, in the attic, can you zoom in on my smiling face? Truth Hurts, yeah. Lizzo sued the songwriters, so she sued them first. Seeking a determination.
Instant karma.
Seeking a determination that they did not deserve credit for the song. On Friday, the trio fired back, alleging that Truth Hurts is substantially similar to Healthy, a song they composed with Lizzo a few months earlier. So they wrote Truth Hurts for her. She said, you guys don't deserve credit for it. And then
so they ghost wrote it, and now she's like...
No, you don't deserve credit.
Basically, the ego. I'm Lizzo, I'm a god. So what do you mean I didn't write my own song?
Maybe she wrote a little bit of it, you know?
Yeah.
But they wrote most of it. So they're saying, well, we should get credit. And she's saying, no, it's mine.
Or like she wrote Garbaggio and they edited it.
Yeah. That's just my initial take of it.
Obviously. We also have a
Hershey's chocolate
the green screen. Dress. Next episode, guys, we're going to have a green screen so we can give you visual aids.
Yeah. There's Lizzo in her
Hershey's chocolate bar dress that apparently no one's looked as good at any public appearance. Any celebrity. World. No one.
That's the best that anyone has ever looked.
Michelle Pfeiffer back in the golden days, man, doesn't hold a candle to Lizzo in her Hershey dress.
Compared to So that's our Lizzo.
That was the Lizzo rant. I've had that on my chest, man. I've wanted to get that off in some way. Mm-hmm. And why not, hear that was me, right?
Exactly. Well,
just wait, man, until I go off on those Polacks, though. No, I'm kidding. I love Polacks, man.
Polacks? What did they ever do to you?
I was just, that's just like, that's a group of people that you could, like, make a joke about, like, I'm going to make fun of Polacks, and people want to get mad at you.
Yeah. Maybe two guys.
But then people would obviously know, it's a joke. He's talking about Polacks.
Yeah. Who cares about those guys? What else you got? We talked a lot about music.
Did we talk about Honey Boy on one of our episodes?
No, we didn't, actually.
I think we skipped over.
We skipped right over. We meant to. And then didn't.
Well, we gotta talk about Honey Boy.
Honey Boy.
Written by Mr. Shia LaBeouf himself.
Shia LaBeouf. Wait. You're walking in the woods and your phone is dead. Suddenly through your car you see him. Big boy Shia.
My man, I never lost faith. I always loved that guy. Even through all the hum, just give him time. He was a child actor. He needs his 5 years of...
Yeah. He's kind of a weird dude, but I feel like, in that time frame, But I think it like, especially this movie gives insight into why maybe some troubling things happened. And you listen to interviews with him now, and he's so chill, and it seems like he's really, like, it helped a lot.
I think it was good. That's the thing I liked most about this movie is I knew it was genuine, and it just came from this guy's heart.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably good for him to write that all out and figure that all out, like, because I could speak on this because I like writing.
Yeah.
Writing is very therapeutic. Like, writing is like, you take part of your soul, you put it out on the paper. Like, sometimes you might have problems in your own life that come up in the story, maybe either subconsciously or consciously, and you have to work through those problems for the narrative. And you can work through the problems within yourself. It's just very... Yeah. So, it was so genuine. Like, literally, just like, I don't know. It just felt so real, and it just, like, right from his heart.
No, yeah. He was saying, like, his method of coping with his dad... He was like, well, one way to, like, figure out who the biggest villain in your life is and then try to see things through their shoes. So he was like, it was really good for me to play my own dad.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, this is me trying to get into the headspace of what he must have been thinking as I was growing up. Which is very strange, but also I think it's a really cool way of doing it.
It's pretty brave, You got to be pretty vulnerable as a actor and a writer to do, like, what he did. Like, play your abusive dad, like, just put it all out on the table for anyone who wants to watch.
And even as just, like, a person, if he like, he said he's reconnected with his dad a little bit since then.
Yeah.
But, like, even to just, like, put that out. Imagine playing your dad in a movie. And then, like, talking to him later, Good or bad, whatever the perception is.
Even, like, playing your dad in a movie and it being, like, if your dad was not a good dad, you just, like, didn't sugarcoat it.
Yeah. It's one of those movies, I feel like, there was a lot of really great movies last year, but I feel like Honey Boy's going to be one of those people still talk about. I think this one's going to last a lot longer than maybe some of them. Although this was a really good year for movies. But, like, I think movies like Joker might start to slow down.
Yeah.
As much
all
as
that stuff is of the times, but this is something more. Oh, so much soul.
As much as I liked it, probably 1917, films like that. But I think something like Honey Boy.
Yeah. Like, even, like, Birdman kind of went out, like...
Yeah.
It always ends up that, like, all the Oscar noms and acclaimed movies of the year fade into obscurity, and then a bunch of just little tiny things that the indie people were watching pop up when people start discovering it. And they're like, wait a second, like, this is all the good stuff.
Yeah, for even, like, 2018, like, Hereditary was not nominated for, like, anything. That's going to be a horror movie for years to come.
Yeah.
That so many horror directors are going to pull from. I'm not saying it's the best horror movie, but, like, wow, did it inspire a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I feel like Honey Boy has the same energy as that.
Honey energy.
Honey Energy. I liked the Bob Dylan song at the end of Honey Boy. Weird note. But I love that song.
Which one?
It's like, all I really want to do.
All I really
be friends with you. That's a great song.
Alright.
Yeah, Honey Boy.
We have a little experiment for you viewers at home.
Mm-hmm.
Minus A Clockwork Orange, name us one Malcolm McDowell movie without looking it up. I guarantee you can't do it.
10 seconds.
Unless you are some kind of cinephile, like beyond, or like you just happen to have like seen a lot of Malcolm McDowell movies for some reason.
15 seconds.
So we came to this little experiment because we were thinking today, man, what movies has Malcolm McDowell been in? So we looked at his filmography. He's been in one good movie and then like nothing else that anyone's ever heard of.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so curious as to how is he so well known? Like what?
Yeah.
How do I feel like he's been in like every movie yet he's been in nothing?
I know the name Malcolm McDowell. You know.
Yeah, like that's a pretty household name.
It's not like let me think about him. You can think about him pretty easily.
Yeah, he's like. Not like he's not even like some character actor or anything.
Mm-hmm. Without looking, legitimately, here's me trying to name all the Malcolm McDowell performances. Clockwork Orange. He was the grandpa in Phineas and Ferb. He was a guest star in an episode of Psych. Literally, that's all I can think of. Like I can't even name you something I haven't seen.
He was in a Home Alone movie that came out in 2012.
Excuse me. He made Home Alone movies in 2012.
Yeah, it looks really low budget. See, he was in Caligula, but that movie was like banned like half of the world around, so...
Yeah.
Isn't that a rip, too?
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Like, the only other, like, really acclaimed movie he probably would have been a part of that would have been big, could have launched his career, and they're just like, you cannot release this. Oh, he's in Halloween in 2007.
Okay.
No, I'm actually shook. Can in the comments... If you guys have any theories, because I'm at a loss, man. Like, I actually don't understand this.
Has Malcolm McDowell been in more than one movie?
And if not, then what has he been in that we all know who the heck he is?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Why is he so popular?
Like, there should be some function or something.
Some Malcolm McDowell fan club that we don't know about.
What? You know, I'm going to look this up right now. Justin, why is
While
Malcolm
he's looking
McDowell
it up, folks,
famous?
I wanted to thank today's sponsor, Country Time Lemonade. Country Time Lemonade gives you the freshest taste of freshly squeezed lemons in your lemonade, this side of picking fresh lemons. You can pick up Country Time Lemonade mix from your local grocery store. In small or big, Country Time Lemonade comes at a reasonable price with a great taste. Country Time Lemonade. For when life gives you lemons... And when life doesn't give you lemons, get Country Time Lemonade Mix. Now back to Ethan.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be an infinite mystery.
So there's nothing?
Yeah, I mean, everyone seems to think he's popular, so... It wasn't like similar people had the problem with like, yeah, I know who he is, but I've literally seen 1 or 0 of his movies. Because before Clockwork Orange, I'd never seen one of his movies where he was actually a live actor in it. Yet, I knew who he was. Like, completely.
Yeah.
Like, as if I'd seen movies in him. Like, not even, like, there's some actors where I haven't seen their movies and I, like, kind of know who they are.
Yeah.
Like, this is, like, I hadn't seen any of his movies, but I, like, knew him as an actor, like, pretty well, it felt like.
Yeah. I really don't know.
Man.
I can't explain it.
Man.
Can't explain it. Malcolm McDowell. Man.
Alright, what else?
We're sitting at 35 minutes. How much longer do you want to go?
A few more times. Do you have any more topics?
Yeah, I got one. I played you a bit of music earlier today, Ethan, from a film called King's Row. Came out in 1942.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't heard it, go ahead and Google King's Row main theme. It's a 1942 film. Charles Gerhardt was the composer. Go ahead and listen to the first 20 seconds of that, and then you might notice something pretty interesting about it. And it's that it sounds almost the same as Star Wars. Or even
like the last 3 notes.
or even like the Superman theme. Like a lot of John Williams, especially Star Wars, though. And I was like, that's very interesting. I had no idea. And so I wanted to not necessarily talk about that, but just like, what do you think about what makes a good movie score? Because if you've noticed recently with new movies, movie scores are like non-existent, or like you barely remember any movie themes. Like there was that one video. There's a video on YouTube, and it starts with this guy asking people like, "Sing me a theme song from James Bond."
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
And then at the end, he's like, sing a song from any Avengers film, and like nobody can do it. And he's like, because the music's really unmemorable.
Yeah, I know why. Well, like to make a good movie score, you have to like take a certain amount of like risk and like kind of have like artistic gusto to be able to like at certain points in the film like just go for it. Like that's with Howard Shore in The Lord of the Rings. Like there's certain scenes where he just like goes completely in like full on. The visuals aren't the focus anymore. Now the music is the focus, and I feel like with in Hollywood now, especially all these composers are all these young guys, never had jobs before, like nobodies, and honestly, I feel like the studios just don't trust them to have more attention than the visuals, and just they're like, we're gonna keep the director and all these people and the visual side of things more focused than the music because you're not John Williams, so we're not gonna let you completely dominate this scene with your music.
Yeah, and I'm always amazed when I see like a newer film that has like a really memorable score. I think as far as like big franchisey songs, I feel like Lord of the Rings was one of the last ones.
Yeah. James Bond still's got a few. Those are kind of carryover. Like they have the or just like even like throughout like all the, like I was watching Casino Royale the other day, and like it's just like and like they just do the little variations on all those different Bond tracks and stuff and.
But like
play around.
Modern films, the action scenes are always like just do the Hans Zimmer.
Mad Max had a good soundtrack.
Mad Max had a really good soundtrack. Yeah, but
Nolan
like
movies
there's few ones
usually
like
have good ones. Nolan movies.
Yeah, but like everyone who makes an action score tries to copy Hans Zimmer.
I feel like any non-auteur movie isn't gonna have a good soundtrack.
No. And I think usually a soundtrack for me is what separates a really great film from like a masterpiece. I feel like that's one of the final pieces. So like, and it doesn't have to be extreme. Like The Lighthouse had, I thought, a great soundtrack, but really it's not a lot. It's kind of just a little bit, but I feel like it fit the film really well. And it felt like unique. Like if you heard it, you'd be like Lighthouse right away. Or like Mad Max, you'd hear it and be like, it's Mad Max. I feel like a lot of movies nowadays just kind of blend together.
Do you think also they could be kind of sweeping music into like the production box of things? Be like, because it would have been more on like the side of like directing and acting, the more artistic and like expressive forms of movie making instead of more technical, and they're kind of trying to push it into the technical box and just get all these technical college grads or people who technically know what makes a good movie score, like using a math equation, but like you don't know how to put your soul into it or something.
Like a lot of music theory type stuff. And I think that goes back to John Williams, because you listen to how many iconic themes that dude made, and they're all really different from each other. Like Jaws sounds nothing like Star Wars, sounds nothing like Jurassic Park, sounds nothing like E.T. And like all of those are iconic because of like they're just so popular, but also like right away, Jaws is like, in my opinion, I think that's probably the best movie theme ever made.
It's like 2 notes. And
it's 2 notes and immediately fear. Like, if not for a shark, then fear in general. So, I think maybe it is getting swept into technical. A lot of people with a lot of knowledge of music theory, but not a lot of like understanding of the film, maybe, or like
moxie.
Yeah, or like
balls.
Really original ideas. That's our friend JG. He's probably watching this right now.
Oh yeah, hey JG.
Hey, what up?
You're in the podcast.
You were just
passively.
You were just
walked
over there
past the door and waved at us.
That's right. That's all I got for movie scores.
Oh.
I have more to talk about, but I don't want to go too lengthy.
Too lengthy. All right. Well, why don't we get into our recommendations?
Ooh, what's our phrase for the day?
Phrase?
Yeah, because we always say something random into here. Oh, did we already do that?
Yeah.
We already did that. Okay. So, I guess I'll go first. I convinced Ethan to get an account for this app called Letterboxd, which you should all get. It's a really great free.
Follow us.
Great free app.
All of our movies we've seen, and see if you've seen more.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
You haven't.
Probably not. Ethan, you're Ethan Fortner 1.
Ethan Fortner 1. Yeah.
I'm Larry Mickelson. Yeah, so you can follow both of us and see. But I convinced him to get it, and you've been adding a lot of movies. And I was looking at your watch list, and I had a specific movie. I was going to recommend you this one film, but I looked at your watch list and saw that you haven't seen Escape from New York by John Carpenter with Snake Plissken. So I'm changing my recommend to Escape from New York.
Wait, is that... Let's see here.
I don't know what's happening.
What album?
Oh, what album?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, you already know about Escape from New York, so I won't really delve into it. I'm trying to lead us into talk about John Carpenter at some point, folks.
Oh, it's on my watch list, too.
Yeah. So, watch that. You've seen a few of his.
Yeah. Big John Carpenter.
Album-wise, I'm gonna... I haven't really thought about it. I'll recommend Zeal by King's Kaleidoscope. That's what I'll do.
Zeal
by King's Kaleidoscope.
Is that a song or an album?
It's an album. It's a King's Kaleidoscope is this like Christian rock band, but they don't make like
either like Switchfoot.
Yeah,
they're not.
I'd say they're more.
They don't make Christian music. They're just Christians.
They're not like,
and they have music that doesn't talk about degenerate scumbag activities.
No, yeah, and like, but it's a really good like it talks a lot about like, passion for Christianity and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's like a really like it's honestly great music, and it also has a good message.
Whoa! So Christian music is actually good.
Like I'm telling you.
Woo! I don't know if I'm gonna believe this till I hear it.
Like really solid stuff.
I'll get back to you guys. This is.
I might have a bias. I saw them live, twice actually. Once they went to my school, and then I saw them again in concert, and like exceptional, really great stuff.
Actually, I'm gonna give you a different album.
Okay.
I was gonna put Justin onto some Mongolian metal, but
Thank goodness.
You like the Front Bottoms, so I'm doing another thematic album kind of thing. Like if you like this album, you'll like this album.
Yeah.
So if you liked the Front Bottoms, you'll like Say Anything Is a Real Boy.
I've heard of this band and album. You've mentioned them before.
Anyway, give it a listen. It's same vein as like Front Bottoms type stuff. It reminds me a lot of their music.
Okay. Say Anything Is a Real Boy. All right.
And then the film of the week is Jim Jarmusch's masterpiece of Western cinema. Another one of my top 10 of all time. I'm giving you goodies ones. Dead Man, starring Johnny Depp.
Dead Man. I saw the trailer a little while ago. You like this movie quite a lot.
Yeah. Soundtrack by Neil Young, which is phenomenal, like off the chart good soundtrack. And it won a kind of Johnny Depp's breakout hit back in like 1998 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite westerns. I'm a big western buff. I've seen a lot of westerns, and this is one of the most recent ones, and to have it just kind of knock everything just out of the way after seeing so much westerns, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
All right. But it's a movie that deals with a lot of themes about death, obviously, and it deals with death in a very interesting way. He gets shot, but the bullet doesn't. It's like next to his heart, and he's probably gonna die within a few months. So he's basically a walking dead man, and there's spiritual significance within like Native American culture and stuff that this Native American he meets kind of teaches him and kind of shares a lot of wisdom with him as they travel across the states fleeing some outlaw or assassins, you know?
Yeah. Okay, Dead Man.
Lots of comedy in it.
Lots of comedy. I like comedy. I can't really recommend you any of my top 10 because I think you've seen all of them. Like all of my top 10 favorite movies I think you've seen before. Pretty much.
Maybe?
Probably.
Maybe one. What?
Well, from my memory, Back to the Future.
I've seen it.
The Truman Show.
Yeah,
12 Angry Men. Ocean's 11. Social Network.
No, I haven't seen Social Network.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Wait, really?
Mm-mm.
Stay tuned for that one, folks, for next week.
All right, let's get. I'll just look at David Fincher.
Fincher is one of my favorite. I forgot to mention him. Oh my goodness.
And you gotta get.
He's one of my favorites.
Gone Girl, boy.
I know. I gotta get Gone Girl. Dang. Okay. All right. Well, don't watch it quite yet because I want to pop that one in for a recommend. Cause,
Social Network.
Oh my goodness.
Add to watch list.
Oh my goodness, Social Network. What a masterpiece.
Oh my goodness, Social Network. Oh, Alien 3 too.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah.
So the Social Network?
Well, that's not my official one.
Oh, okay. I'll just put that on.
I'm still going Escape from New York.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I was just gonna.
Yeah, I didn't talk about it much because you know about it.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Snake.
All right, that's our episode.
Alvida Zavanda.
What he said. Stay tuned for more episodes.
More episodes.
And
every
week,
sometime.
At some point.
Some point during the week, every week.
I'm on spring break, so this episode will probably be up sooner than usual.
Hey, lucky you guys.
And for any of you fans of
not us, it already happened.
Yeah, those already happened.
It gets filmed, no matter what time.
Yeah. For any of you fans of our hit show, Indie, production...
There's a new season of Indie?
Did you hear? There's a new season.
Really?
Yeah.
The producer, he didn't hit me up. I'm not in it.
Thank you guys for watching.
I'm not even in my own...
See you guys later.
I'm out of my own show.
Bye.
What?